Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Regard Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 1. In three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before Yahweh and man: the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agreed together. Something that the elder mentioned at camp yesterday is at times, brothers, we could be doing everything correctly because we know the Lord is merciful. But out of nowhere, the Deuteronomy 28 demon to jump on you. And what do I mean by that? Deuteronomy 28 verse 54, and it states this: so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Something that we all should be doing as the men of Israel is growing in our discernment and recognizing when there's demons on us, and also when there's demons on our wives as well. Because when you have this ability to discern, then you can cast the spirit down. But those Negroes who are in the world who lack discernment and the Lord is not dealing with, they're overcome by these demons and they act according to the flesh. And what did the Apostle Paul state about works of the flesh when he wrote to the Israelites that were in Galatians chapter 5 verse 20? This is how you respond, because the works of the flesh is this: idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissension, and fractions. And what happens when you involve fractions or divisions? It's a breaking down of things. Let's go from there to Proverbs chapter 25 verse 28. Because we can't respond emotionally when things break down, brothers, because things are going to happen at work, in our homes, with us, and we can't respond emotionally, right? The scripture states this: he that hath no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Peter said this: think it not strange when various trials are occurring. Just loosely paraphrased, as though something strange were happening to you to test you. Because what I'm learning is, and what I have to remember is, it's all a test. That's why it's so amazing to know these scriptures. Because even though we're going to be presented with tests, the scripture states this: this wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of thy times. However, we have a Jake here that was unawares of what he's dealing with. And ultimately, we know this was judgment from the Most High. But listen to what happened in this story here. This is Deuteronomy 28 being played out in real time. Watch closely.
A man is in custody today accused of shooting and killing his wife and injuring their three young children. 35-year-old Keith Lee, seen here in a previous mugshot, is in the hospital today getting medical treatment before he is taken to jail. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KPRC News at 6. I'm Bill Barajas. Lee is charged with murder and 3 counts of injury to a child. Family members identified his wife as 33-year-old Christina Abner Lee. KPRC 2's Corley Peel joins us live now with what she has learned about the suspect's criminal history. Corley?
Bill, Lee was currently out on bond after he was arrested just a little over a week ago. In that case, he was arrested for leaving the scene of an accident on December 4th. He was also arrested in October on a harassment charge. He was accused of threatening his wife, Christina Abner Lee, and her family member. The case was dismissed because the court found probable cause did not exist. In 2010, he was arrested for hitting Abner Lee. He pleaded guilty and was given probation. He was convicted in 2016 for possession of a controlled substance.
This scripture comes to mind. Remember, it states, be not careful to add sin upon sin. Let's continue.
Ring video showed Lee on top of this home where police took him into custody yesterday. Police were called to the scene after his 4- and 10-year-old ran to a neighbor's home asking for help. We're not showing that part of the video because of the nature of the crime. Both children showed signs of physical abuse. Officers went to the family's home off Inyard Street, where they found a 2-year-old boy suffering from serious injuries. Abner Lee's body was also found with multiple gunshot wounds, according to police. And police say Lee is currently in the hospital, but he will be transported to the Harris County Jail once he's released. Now, I have been in contact with Christina Abner Lee's family members. They say they are with the 3 young children who are still in the hospital right now being treated for the injuries. They say this is all unreal. It doesn't seem real to them. They miss Christina Lee Abner, and they want her to be remembered in the best way possible. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from loved ones about how they want her to be remembered. Reporting live, Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
Let's come out of this, because the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verse 30 states this: Be not as a lion in thine house, nor frantic among thine servants. That's referring to your wife and your children, because the word woman, when it goes back into the etymology, it refers to a woman as what? A servant. She's a helpmate. I have an adult son and a daughter. They're servants unto me. I give them instruction and direction. I ask them to do things. At various times I tell them to do things, and they do it for me, right? You can't come in the house and be a lion, brothers. You have to discern when you have those damn demons on you, so you can cast them down, right? And conduct yourself accordingly. Let's go from here, because we're all going to have those various trials and tests of our faith. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 2 states this: Set thine heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in times of trouble. If you brothers notice, this man was on the roof after he had done all of this. But the scriptures tells us, right? It is better to dwell on the corner of a rooftop than to be in a house with a quarrelsome wife. Now, granted, I don't know the ins and outs of this situation, but that's where it goes back to having that spiritual discernment. If you see a situation escalating, brothers, there's nothing wrong with leaving. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself on a couch for a night or 2 or 3 to things de-escalate, to things cool off, brothers, because we can't make haste in times of trouble. And furthermore, let's close out with these next 2 precepts. Ecclesiasticus verse 8, chapter 8, verse 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. See, this man was grievous unto everyone in that house, for he will do accordingly to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. Ecclesiasticus chapter 8, verse 16, and it reads, Strive not with an angry man. See, it goes back to controlling that spirit, because if you don't, what does the scripture go on to say? Go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. This man overthrew everyone in the house. You see, brothers, it goes back to controlling that spirit, and also discerning when you have demons on you, when the situation is escalating. All right? Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Shalom.